The hallways of Roxbury Preparatory Charter School are silent. Students don't talk, so the teachers don't lose the first few minutes of class to carry over chatter. If that sounds serious, well, that's the idea.
Mission Roxbury Prep is to prepare students to enter, succeed, and graduate from college.
That's right, college. Keep in mind, Roxbury Prep is a middle school. Also keep in mind its location, squeezed into the third floor of the Edgar Healthcare Center on Mission Hill, and its demographics. All of its students are non-white, and almost 3/4 of them qualify for free or reduced cost lunches. Yet this small charter has become one of the state's top performers on the MCAS.
It's a function of college readiness. So, we're a public school, so we need to ensure that our kids are prepared well for the MCAS exams. But that doesn't mean that our curriculum is centered on the MCAS. Our curriculum is centered on what kids need to do to be successful in high school and college, and because of that, they are prepared well for the MCAS. So folks will often ask, what do you do for tutoring programs for the MCAS? What do you do for MCAS preparation classes? We don't have any of those here. What we do is we teach really well, and then kids do well on the test.
One reason why they do well on the test is their teachers, each of whom designs his or her own curriculum. Freedom, and the responsibility that comes with it, is part of Massachusetts charter school vision.
We don't want to teacher-proof schools. We want to treat teachers as professionals, and as professionals they should be supported and autonomous, and also held accountable for their results. So teachers start here in August, 3 weeks before the school year starts. They develop curriculum based on Massachusetts standards, but also their own experience in college prep standards, and they develop their own assessments that they use to determine student mastery.
I think it's really difficult at first. I remember my first year, they're like, all right, you have to make your PE curriculum. And I was like, alrighty. But I mean, I went to school for phys ed, so I kind of had a pretty good idea, but you have plenty of time to build stuff. I mean, the first year, some things work really well, some things don't, and you just have to find a way to rework it until it gets to the point where it is now. We're pretty happy with it.
Roxbury Prep's current shared building houses just 258 students, but it's been so successful with a small number that the state is considering expansion to 5 schools and 2,000 students by 2020.
Our goal in all of this is to really expand the opportunities that we can provide to kids in a way that's meaningful. For one, to close the achievement gap at scale. Again, we've done amazing work here for 258 kids, but until we can do it at scale, there'll always be a question of whether or not we really are a model for public reform. By serving 2,000 kids, you make that point loud and clear, and we'll do it on the public dollar. Secondly is sharing what works. We do a lot of work with not only charter schools but also district schools about effective teaching practices, and also migrating some of our best practices into district schools, so we'll continue to do that. And then lastly, just make a point around public policy that if we are serving 2,000 kids by 2020, we'll be as big as many suburban districts and create a structure that may be replicable more generally in Boston, but in other urban areas for how you can structure public urban education.
Roxbury Prep's big picture view includes improving not only the education community, but also the Mission Hill community. In August, for instance, when Boston Magazine shined a positive light on the school, but referred to Mission Hill as a relatively poor, violent neighborhood, readers rushed to the area's defense. Austin and others insist that characterization just isn't accurate.
I think for the older guard in the city, they hear Mission Hill and they think of Charles Stewart, right? They think of the Mission Hill of the late 80s, the early 90s, the stories that I would hear about when I was growing up in Dorchester about the Mission Hill. It's kind of a tough neighborhood. There are a core group of folks who stayed through that time that was tough and have committed themselves to this neighborhood and its revitalization. So yeah, they're gonna wince when they see comments like that, and we would too.
My dad went to school here too. When I first told him I was gonna live here, he was like, "Nope, not happening." But once he came, he was fine with it. So it's definitely changed. I've had no issues. I don't have any friends that have any issues.
Which do you think is more mess?
The only issues in Roxbury Prep's classrooms involve answering challenging questions, using tangible learning tools whenever possible. The students, like teachers and policymakers, don't have all the answers. But, according to Austin, the manner in which everyone is working towards solutions gives Roxbury Prep, Mission Hill, and Boston as a whole reason to be optimistic about the future.
It's a really exciting time to be living in the city for lots of reasons. I do think that the public attention and the energy behind education reform in Boston is palpable, and I really hope that not only educators and elected officials, but really students, kids, families really tap into that energy and really create great schools that are going to last for a really long time.
On Mission Hill, Cal Borchers, Boston.com.